What's good, everybody? Back once again, and this time the recap of another good and exciting or disappointing, depending on who you are, game between the Lakers and Golden State. And you know, I'm one of these people that I'm like, I just want to see a good series. So as soon as it's so I'm like, I wanted the Lakers to win this one. I sort of wanted the Lakers to win the other ones, also because I was like, I picked the Lakers in the series, so they're part of that too. But also just a bit of the fact that I'm kind of like, if it's 1-1, I have a guarantee it's going to last as long. Where I'm like 2-0, and I was like, ooh, I was like, Denver going back to LA, and I was like, they might smell something in the water. I thought I was like the Lakers came out and basically sort of continued where they left off in the first game. They went ahead and found their matchups. They never really got a dominant lead. They always, it almost whoa, haha, crazy. Sometimes I forget what I be doing with my hands. You know what it sort of makes me think of how they were playing. It sort of makes me think of when you playing like on 2K and you playing on like the high difficulty, and so but like your team might not be as good as the computer, or the computer just be doing computer stuff, which the Nuggets sort of be doing that sometimes. But so you just like, oh, if I just get a good enough lead, and I just trade baskets, I'm good until something happened. And that pretty much what happened in the fourth quarter was pretty much Jamal Murray just being like, oh, I forgot that how this whole shooting thing works. Like granted, he had like a pretty good first half, but he wasn't doing nothing that second half until the fourth quarter. And geez, the thing is that he's the type of shot creator that once he gets on a roll, and he's also the type of I don't want to say shooter, because to me he's not a shooter. To me he's a shot creator. Like to me, Devin Booker is a shooter. I was like, Klay Thompson is a shooter. Stephen Curry is a shot creator while also being a shooter, but he's a shot creator. Dame Lillard, shot creator, and to me that means like, in any way, any position, no matter how I can come up one leg, I can sort of just come to the side or whatever. I don't have to be in an orthodox way of shooting in order to make these baskets. And that's what Jamal Murray was, because I was like, I was like, boy, he hit like, I was like, I know he had like 16 in the quarter or whatever like that, but he hit like, the only clean shot he really got was a mid-ranger. Other than that, I was like, his first three to get him going were pretty just like, oh, straight, normal. They went underneath the screen, whatever. Then after that, he was just doing ridiculous shots again, like he did in the first game, where it was just like, there ain't no way. Damn, he did it. Yeah. So I was like, this game to me wasn't a crazy back and forth type of thing it was in the first game. I didn't think it was crazy, any adjustments really. I think the game was actually about who made shots and who didn't make shots. Like they did a good job on Jokic, because Jokic was giving away the ball, and if he wasn't even causing the turnover, he wasn't being able to be his Jokic for putting in the proper way of like getting them in their routine shot. And I think that's why a lot of people used to, like KCP didn't have like a good game anymore. I was like, Aaron Gordon doesn't know how to play. Bruce Brown, they sort of got to stop that guy, because I was like, it's not that, because I was like, he had like a wide open three. That one's fine. If he makes it three, you live with it. But a lot of his stuff where he just attacking the paint, and sometimes I'm just like, why is nobody in front of him? And also too, that this is also what gets me, not really with this series or any particular player, but in general. Now I'm like, if you're already going to cause a foul. I don't get this half-ass foul thing where I'm like, where obviously you rake it down hard on the ball. And a lot of times I'm like, I know like things are happening fast or whatnot, but a lot of times I'm like, all you're trying to do is disrupt their rhythm and their shot. But to me, I'm like, if you're going to do some of these things, or if you're already going to like you see the dude going up and you're sort of like go ahead and just like they'll like push him out the air because that's a flagrant now. But I'm like actually make sure that he don't try to make the basket or something. I was like it's always the ticky tack one, and that would bother me. And that might also be some of the refs just calling ticky tack foul, and that's just sort of with anybody. It's not anything in particular. That just sort of peeves me sometimes or whatnot. But I did think in some ways they did call the game really off, like how like D'Angelo Russell got the flagrant foul for like his wind up, which wasn't. I was like, that's not a wind up, because like to me a wind up starts back. It's like I'm like a haymaker type of thing, where I'm like, if you're already here and then you just go fast, I was like, that's not really about like trying to strike the person. That's like getting your speed in there with that as well. But I'm like, then I was like, but not too long later, I was like, Bruce Brown did something similar, and I was like, neither one of them should have been called, but Bruce Brown did something similar. I'm like, okay. But then Austin Reed, and I was like, I know I'm ticky-tacking, but I was like, this is just show like I just don't understand where I'm like, Reed obviously got in front of Porter Jr., and they was like, and I was like, this one had like a long time where I'm like, Reed was able to set himself twice, and they would call it a blocking foul. But then on the other end, I was like, Jeff Green got in front of Rui, and that one was a charge, and that one should have been a charge. But it's just weird where I'm like, it's similar situations. Why is the thing like that? Also, I was like, I guess this is more just like instead of, like I said, it's not really. It really wasn't. It didn't really seem like this was really as though it was really just who made shots and who did. So going in that, Lonnie Walker, he had been having it the last couple games, but go to the basket. There was like 2 times that Lonnie like went to the and then he just gave the ball up, and I'm just like, dude, you athletic as hell. Like, go ahead and just go up and just get the foul, like dunk on him or try, whatever, just to make it the type of way. Shout out to Rui, because Rui was the unsung hero for the team that if they would have got the win, would have been able to be something, but they wasted that game. And I was like, man, they're over there. I was like, they got this much of a lead, or every time they'd be down, but it's like they would come back and either get it close or they would go back over. And I'm like, man, they doing this, and I'm like, yo, and I was like, Rui the top scorer right now, and I was like, that's good, because I was like, that means that right now, while everybody else struggling, Rui was able to carry them. Then nobody else really like came along. I was like, Anthony Davis, that's the part where I'm like missing shots. He was missing chippies. Where I was like, he was just like missing floaters. He was not on his game. Or I was like, while yes, they did a better job with the help defense, he just wasn't on, and that was sort of suffering. And I was like, LeBron wasn't either. Don't go look at the points. Like there was a couple of times like you could see he pushing it, but it just seemed like he was tired, and it also seemed like that last part of the half that his foot was sort of bothering him. Kind of like of course you can like kick it in the gear and stuff like that, but it just seemed like it wasn't there constantly. But he was missing shots, and by God, if he keeps taking these 3-pointers, I get that you LeBron and you wanted to go, you Mountain Brothers, however you want to say it, but he took like 3 threes in like 5 possessions, and I'm just like, dude, your shot ain't there. Stop taking these shots, like none of y'all shot like the way everybody's shots have been going. Cause the only person, to be honest, the only person that's shooting threes is really Reeves. That's it. And I was like, to me, they need to get Reeves really going to me earlier. Like Reeves trying to play so much into the office sometimes that sometimes I'm like, say it. You just need to take over. You need to do your own thing. Cause I was like, you're the only one that able to really get going. I was like, while Lonnie had been playing well this game, I was like, he's only taking he's taking so little shots that he's not able to play in rhythm for a guy that's like that for his type of game. He needs to get shots in to go in the rhythm or whatever. I was like, once again, D'Angelo Russell didn't get nothing out of him. I was like, and to the point that he started becoming a liability because he just there. He's not a defensive player like Schroeder. And Schroeder also, like, I get that he's playing against, because I was like, because the Nuggets are really long. I was like, Jokic 7 foot, Aaron Gordon like 6'9", but he's long and athletic. Michael Porter Jr. 6'9", 6'10", long athletic. So you're really playing against a lot of long athletic dudes. So I get Schroeder's not going to be able to score, but sometimes Schroeder, you just got to take those shots. You got to get more in the paint, do the floaters, and do all that type of stuff just to change it up. Because I'm like, a lot of times I'm like, it's just Reeves, LeBron, and whatever you, and depending on where AD is, and that's really it. And then you got two people on the court. Sometimes I'm like, they're nobody. They're not nobodies, but they're not offensive threats. But maybe I was like, and depending on who it is, like Rui's there, fine. I was like, Dennis there, you got to score some buckets, dude. I was like, Vanderbilt, to me, I was like, I will only play Vanderbilt if you take an AD out. That way you can sort of play that lineup. But I was like, the thing is that once again, I was like, unlike the first game, the Lakers came out and they had their game plan. They had what they were going to do. And I thought it was working, and I felt like they went away with it really by the end of it, just because even though Murray was hitting those threes, their offensive pace changed, and the way that, and I felt like they wasn't attacking them the same way anymore, and it felt like it was very cloggy in a lot of instances or whatever. But also too, if you ain't got nobody shooting threes, that's what it's going to be. Like part of me is like, if Lonnie Walker is not going to be that sort of aggressive of like getting into a shot and getting to the basket and get free throw, I'm wondering if if Malik Beasley should get some run, or Troy Brown, somebody who also like Malik Beasley, he could do a lot of running around and shooting threes, and I was like, that could sort of open up the space, because then you got to have somebody run after him constantly. Troy Brown, he's not that type of shooter, but he is somebody who can shoot 3-point shot, but he's also like 6'7", so you don't lose none of your length when you also have to play him. I seen also, and I was like, I said it sort of like in my other video, and I didn't realize how, I guess he was hurt, but I seen people talking about Mo Bamba, and to me, I think if he's sort of hurt, I think it might be too late to sort of use him. Otherwise, I felt like that would have been a good person to throw in as a body against Jokic, because at least he's like 7 foot. He's not thick like that, but he's a long body. He can also shoot the three, so that means he can at least take Jokic and stuff like that out, and he can block shots. So you could get probably somewhat of AD, just more perimeter oriented, actually more. But I mean, to be honest, I was like, of course, I was like, duh, it's sort of a stupid statement. If they lose game 3, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, they in danger. Like, duh, they only need one game and it's over. But to me, I was like, I guess I won't have panic until the loss of game 3, just because duh, it's over. But it's like, if I feel like they get game 3, then I'm like, cool, they're going to be in rhythm. Where I was like, they get game 4. Because I was like, the first game, I was like, they should have won that game, but lost it. Game 2, they had the game, lost it, could have won it, because there was stuff at the end where they could have had a chance. LeBron had some turnovers there, and also missed some basket where I was like, he got the inbound pass where he could have had Jokic, and he could have laid up on the other side to basically give them a better chance. And I'm like, if you're going to do that, you might as well just give it to Reed for an open 3 and just try your luck there. Especially you had number. There was nobody else to rebound. So to me, I felt like you should have went ahead and took the 3. Yes, old LeBron would have went up there and dunked it on the other side, like no problem. But this LeBron, I feel like you should have went ahead, and I was like, it was just like two dudes. I was like, it was like one person trying to stop him at the perimeter, and then two at the thing. I'm like, pass it to Reed for the 3, because it was just Jokic behind him or whatever like that. Reed could have got a shot off on it, but I'm like, you got Davis, you got LeBron, and you still got the numbers advantage of rebound. I don't know. I was like, hindsight, whatever. But yeah, no, I was like, I feel like the Lakers probably look at this as like 2 slip game, while the Nuggets should be happy because you two up 2 games. There ain't no more you can ask for. And I was like, this wasn't a good Nuggets game. It was an okay Nuggets game. Because like I said, I was like, Murray had to get high at the end to really save the day. He really saved the day. Because Jokic wasn't doing anything towards the end like that. Like, yeah, he was setting screens or whatever. But they were trying to make anybody else beat them. So, and that's what happened, is except for Jamal Murray just happened to get hot and beat them. Because everybody else sort of played to their mean. Like Aaron Gordon played to his low bar. I was like, Porter played to his median. KCP played pretty much where he's supposed to really be at. Brown sort of gives you that amount of point. They played Reggie Jackson. Look at you, boy. Reggie Jackson getting some playing time for once and something. But other than that, I'm like, Nah, it was really Jokic and Murray. And the thing is, the Lakers could beat Jokic and Murray. You just had to have LeBron and AD come up to show up and play. And AD was slacking today. And LeBron, I felt like, ill-advised times of when to assert himself, especially when your shot's not falling. I'm just like, yo, you got to go to the basket sometimes, or you them other dude, like, you got to trust them other dudes to make them shots sometimes. And I was like, but they wasn't hitting them. So I was like, yeah. But, I mean, it's still a fun game nonetheless. Anyway, if you liked anything I had to say, I appreciate it. Thanks. If not, I was like, maybe the next time. But until then, peace. I'm out.